This is where you realize number one, you're either a winner or a loser. Look, I 50x my income when I changed my life. I'm doing better than everyone else I know. No, I'm not even joking.
Hello. What's up, people? I'm having issues with my camera. It's like out of focus slightly. It's driving me crazy. What's up, everybody? I don't know. I give up. So sorry. Thank you so much for those of you that made it live. I know it's late for my friends on the East Coast. Aaron says, I hope I get rich because I'm staying up late tonight. You know what? Getting rich requires dedication, and anyone who replied to my poll yesterday on the community tab and said, it's too late for me, that's why you're poor. Okay? Secret has been revealed. Okay. What's up? How's everybody doing? Bubba is alive and active right now. Wow. He's yawning. He'll be asleep soon. Don't be fooled. I am happy to be here. Appreciate those of you for showing up live. If you're catching the replay, skip ahead to 5 or 6 minutes probably, because we all know that drink time with Danielle is about to start. So this camera is gonna drive me crazy. I'm also like, my lights are on the opposite side of the room, or opposite side of my desk that they usually are right now. And so the way they're positioned, I have no space. I'm literally trapped in this chair and I cannot move. So hopefully there's not an emergency, or that's going to be a bit of a disaster. Rodney says, I'm a little tired, but I need this money. That is what we need. If you, guys, I'm going to give you the secrets right off the bat. If you want to build a 7-figure business, step number 1 is to literally never sleep and just stay up all night watching me yap. Okay? That's the secret. And pay me $10,000. That would help too. Welcome. K-Bird, hello. Suzanne, Caitlin, Marette. We got a full house tonight. That is what I like to see. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. I have my bubbly on deck this evening. I was trying to schmooze my neighbors the other day, so I bought a bunch of name brand soda water to try and get on their good side, if you know what I'm saying. So I have a bunch left over. This one's orange. I had never tried this flavor before. It is very good. So that's what I'll be drinking. Let me know in the chat what you're sipping on. I also have a giant glass of water, which I might have to give to the dog at some point, because that happens. K-Bird says, my secret to success is just not sleeping, but not doing anything either. Passive income. Find yourself a sugar daddy. That's the real secret.
And I want nothing from you. It's free. Free.
That advice that I just gave you, free. Free. Write that down. Okay. Oh, my keyboard is not working. We are having a really good time. Okay. Harrison, Danielle, Ryan, After Dark. Welcome to the party. Sipping on Scammer Tears, freshly drawn from the river of misery. That's where I like to hang out. Bad vibes only around here. How can we make money while we sleep if we never sleep? I'm going to have to think about that one and get back to you. Good question. Poor Claire says, sugar daddies are work too, though. So true. So true. I still got to figure out that whole passive income thing, I suppose. Hi, Dios. Okay. Today we're going to be looking at, it's a bit of a trip down memory lane for me, if I'm being honest. So let me just switch tabs here. We are going to be listening to a podcast, as you can see, from a coach who was probably one of my very first live streams ever on this channel back in 2022. 2023. When did I start live streaming? 2023, maybe. 2 years ago? Anyway, I did a stream, one of my original live streams. It was titled, the fitness coach to business coach pipeline. And I featured this coach here on the screen who honestly makes me a bit sad. I've mentioned her before in other streams, but this particular creator used to be a fitness influencer that I really looked up to in the early 2010s when fitness YouTube and bodybuilding was really popular online. And I would say she was one of the OG fitness influencers of YouTube who unfortunately fell into the rabbit hole pipeline of becoming a fitness influencer, then becoming a fitness coach, and then becoming a coach for fitness coaches, and then becoming a business coach for coaches of any kind. And this coach in particular that we're going to look at today, actually is a client under the coach that we looked at 2 weeks ago, maybe. Let me just pull up my past streams. Yeah, so the stream before last week we looked at Stacey Bayman. The week before that we looked at Sabrina Phillip, and the stream itself is titled Debunking Another Boss Babe Millionaire. So that person is this person who we're going to look at today's upline. So anyway, I'm on her email list. Jane Doe is on her email list, and I received an email about a new AI agent that she's built for millionaires. And it led me to this podcast, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to listen to the podcast. We're going to look at her offer suite. And we will also take a look at this new AI thing that she's also selling. So there's that, catching you up to speed. I'm just catching up on the comments. Rona says, hi from Kansas City. Hello and welcome to the party. Where is it? Here we go.
Now you are one of us. One of us. One of us.
Happy to have you here. Okay, I couldn't get this podcast to work through Spotify, so we're going to have to try and play it through Apple Podcasts. I don't know. I don't think I can speed it up if that's the case, which is unfortunate for those of you that know me, but I'm sure some of you on the replay or watching live probably enjoy that. So Burb says, I finally caught a live. Let's go. To that, I will say this.
A podcast is the greatest education you can get.
A podcast is the greatest education you can get. And then the next thing after a podcast that's the greatest education is a live stream with me. So welcome, and I'm happy to have you here. Let's learn what it takes to build not a 7-figure business, but a 7-figure program. So the description says you have $1 million program inside of you. Not $1 million business, $1 million program. How do I know? I did it myself. Oh my God. Can you guys believe that if I did something, it is going to also be true for you? Because everything that happens in my life is absolutely 100% duplicatable for everyone else in the world. That's sarcasm, by the way. It's not magic or luck. It's strategy. It's execution. It's relentless refinement. It's scaling bravely. I've broken this milestone into 5 essential phases. Of course you have. Because everything in life can be broken down into a step-by-step blueprint system that anyone and everyone can copy for themselves. Blah, blah, blah. How I did it and what I would do differently. I love helping my clients. La, da, 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 da. So if it wasn't clear in my description of what's going on here, this woman, allegedly, in my opinion, is a coach that coaches other coaches on how to coach other coaches to coach other coaches. So just perpetuating the coaches coaching coaches business model. But let's go ahead and listen to the podcast episode.
Trying to scale alone is like an oxymoron. It will keep you stuck. So if you've already invested in, let's say, team members or mentors that didn't.
Let me know how the sound is, because for me it's really loud, but I don't know if it's really loud for you guys too.
Work out. That is a sign to learn from that and lean in, and that you don't necessarily need more information, especially if you're someone that's oh, I've wasted so much money on courses or DIY things. You need integration, you need execution. Welcome to Make Bank with Marie Wold. I'm Marie, and for the live, I don't know if I've ever recorded a podcast episode while on Instagram Live, but there's a first for everything, and I might as well kill two birds with one stone, right? So this episode is going live next week, and I am bringing you behind the scenes and going through what it takes.
Okay, I can't turn my volume up anymore, so I will turn the podcast down a little bit, and you guys can let me know if that's better.
To build a 7-figure program. And I don't mean a 7-figure business, not a 7-figure business, a 7-figure program, a 7-figure offer.
Let me know if
meaning
that's better.
one single offer inside of your business nets minimum $1 million cash collected. And I can make an episode about this because I have scaled a single program to nearly $2 million myself, and I have a second program closing in on 7 figures cash collected. We're on track to surpass that this year. So I absolutely know what it takes. And in fact, I have put together a cheat sheet for you that like breaks down kind of the high level phases and facts of what it takes to build a 7-figure program. Once this live gets published to my feed, you'll be able to comment program on that post in order to unlock the breakdown. But for now, if you're watching this live, like I'm going to go in depth right now.
Okay. I have some thoughts on this already. This is like a personal gripe that I want to be able to complain about on the internet. So I'm going to complain about it to you guys because you don't have a choice but to listen to me. Okay. Those of you that follow me, I know Harrison has been victim to this many times. I have automations set up on Instagram. Personally, from a business perspective, I have no qualms with the automations, comment word X and I will send you the link. I think from an efficiency perspective, it's actually a really helpful tool as a business owner to not have to waste my time manually sending people the links for things. I also think it's very helpful as a consumer to be able to get access to the information that I want without having to like go to your profile, go to your link in bio and find it myself. No problems with automation. What I don't like, and what I see a lot of these gurus do, is only giving people the option to comment the word. There have been a few times that I can think of off the top of my head. Actually, this happened to me literally today with an influencer in my city who's hosting an event. And the only way to get details for the event is to comment on her post. Now, this might be a me problem. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments. But sometimes I don't want other people, I don't like the optics of other people knowing that I've been interested in a particular event or I'm interested in someone's program or I want links to something. I want to have the option to comment the word, sure, but to also be able to go to your profile and navigate to the thing that you're talking about on my own. And also, I don't want people clogging up my DMs because the automation automatically sends you a message and then you have a message to open. And I already have a hard time staying on top of my Instagram messages. So again, let me know if this is just a me problem or what your thoughts are. But she just said in the podcast, like, I have this new program launching. And when I post my new Instagram post, you can comment program on that post to get the details. What if I don't want people to know that I'm interested in your program? I just feel like, again, from a business perspective, yes, it's a helpful tool, but you're potentially losing out on leads if you only give people one way to get access to the information that you're trying to give them. Like, I always let people comment a word, but then I also have the link for whatever it is available in my link in bio, my link tree, whatever. So it's very, very interesting. And I don't understand why. So if someone in the comments or watching the replay, live chat, whatever, knows the answer as to why some people only rely on the automations and don't give me another option to find it on my own, I would love to know. Thank you.
But let's go through kind of the phases of what it takes to build a 7-figure program. And I love having conversations like this because honestly, if I would have seen something like this like 5 years ago, it would have been such an expander for me. I wouldn't have even known to put that like on my goals board or on my vision board because I was like far off from even having a 7-figure business, much less one offer making 7 figures on its own. And I especially think this conversation is important in the space where there, like, it has become trendy and popular to launch a new offer like every 5 days. And I definitely get it. Like, it is so fun to make new things. It's so fun to have a new launch and put something out and have people love it. Like, that is super, super fun. And I get it. Like, I'm a manifesting generator. I love making new things and following my creativity and like following the ping. But there's also something to be said about selling something until it sells and making like having really tried and true flagship signature offers. So that's what I've done with a lot of my offers. And I've had.
What does it mean to sell something until it sells? Sell something until it sells. I don't get it.
The specific program that I is closing in on $2 million is 5 years old. So that is a program that I have sold consistently for 5 years. The other program has also, that's closing in on $1 million, has been around 4 years. 4 years, not like for the number 4. Maybe it's like 3.5 years. But anyway, there's something to be said about having a program that is really built to last. It's scalable. And now I honestly like have this down to a science, and I'm helping my clients do it as well. It is not magic. It's not luck. There's a lot of strategy. It's execution. It's refinement. It's like really scaling bravely, not perfectly, but bravely. And so I've broken down the milestone of what it takes to have a 7-figure program into really 5 essential phases. Again, I have like a blueprint of this written out for you. So if you want kind of a written recap, once this live is posted to my feed, hi Anne, so good to see you here. Once this gets posted to my feed, you'll be able to comment program and I'll deliver the document right to you. It's a Google Doc breaking this down. But anyway, I love helping my clients build highly profitable.
Okay, while she's yapping, I'm going to try and find this post and I'll comment on it.
Scalable, impact-driven programs. This is especially what we do in my mastermind. I am putting together a new high-level one-on-one and mastermind container as we speak, which is going to be for coaches, creators, educators, service providers who are ready to scale to multi-6, 7 figures while scaling their CEO lifestyle. And of course, I love rewarding an action taker. So for the fastest action takers, I'm going to also host them for an in-person one-on-one VIP day. So if that's of interest to you, before we jump in, DM me, like leave the live, come back and DM me mastermind. Or if you're listening to the podcast currently, like pause it, DM me mastermind and come back because I already have multiple calls booked for these spots and I'm really excited. So now let's get to the goods of really what it.
How much do we want to guess she doesn't have multiple calls booked? Allegedly, in my opinion.
Takes to build a 7-figure program. Phase 1 is really about building a scalable suite of ascension offers that multiply income. So yes, we're going to build one singular 7-figure offer and have like really signature flagship offers, but I do still recommend having a savvy offer suite, specifically an ascension offer suite where kind of all roads lead to Rome, all roads lead to that main offer.
I can't find this post she's talking about, so I give up.
That you want everyone to end up selling into. And I always say that there are a million ways for you to make $1 million. And it's super true. That's also why I don't have, like, no one of my clients has the exact same business model or the.
There's a million ways to make $1 million, and yet you follow the most copy-paste method in order to do so. Something leads me to believe that you actually don't know another way to make $1 million other than to coach other coaches on how to coach coaches. Because if it was really, I could do it so many ways, why would you pick that one? I'm just saying.
Exact same type of program or anything like that. But success does definitely leave clues. And the way that most successful, like high multi-6, 7-figure entrepreneurs win is that they stop trying to reinvent the wheel and they double down and refine their high leverage offers. So those offers that are capable of hitting 7 figures on their own. Hi, Melissa. And so those high leverage offers are the ones that are scalable enough and high ticket enough to realistically generate over $1 million for you on their own. Again, this is not like relaunch or launching new stuff all the time and always chasing the new thing, always chasing like the next dopamine fix of building something new. You have to lock in, like you have to put your blinders on and really get obsessed with one offer. So you're going to need a high ticket, scalable program or service like that.
This woman is so boring. Erin, I noticed that too. Hi, Melissa. It's like, okay, I feel like I always say this, but so many of these gurus, rather than record actual podcast episodes, they just repurpose their Facebook lives, Instagram lives, whatever. I'm actually shocked at how good the audio quality is of this episode, considering it's like an Instagram live. But if I'm a millionaire or my business is making $1 million and I'm going to repurpose my Facebook lives, Instagram lives, etc., are you telling me as a $1 million business, you can't afford to pay an editor $50, $100 to go in and edit your 30-minute podcast episode and cut out the parts where you're saying, hi, Amy. Hi, Melissa. Hi, blah, blah, blah. Cut it out. Cut it out. It's not that hard. Do it yourself. Jesus.
That is your 7-figure vehicle. It could be group coaching. It could be a hybrid. It could be one-on-one, but it does need to be structured for scale. And contrary to popular belief, one-on-one absolutely can be structured to scale or be scalable enough to cross 7 figures on your own. In fact, I know multiple people that do 7 figures just from one-on-one, even within, like a calendar year.
Okay. I don't know how many people watching this live or in the replay watched the video that I posted on the weekend of me reacting to my old Facebook content. But in that video, I'm reacting to a Facebook Live. And in the Facebook Live, I'm telling a story, giving really vague examples that make it super unrelatable for the people watching the video, presumably, because it's really hard to conceptualize the point I'm trying to make when I'm not being specific in my examples. And listening to this podcast is giving me flashbacks to that episode because she's doing the same thing. She's saying, I know multiple people who, I know how to make millions of dollars, millions of ways. In fact, my clients do it differently. Okay, how? Explain to me how it's different. Now she's saying, I know multiple people who have scaled one-on-one in a way that, to 7 figures, in a way that's scalable. Okay, how? Don't give me vague sort of platitudes of, oh yes, this thing happened. Okay, what happened and how did it happen? Give me the specifics that allow me as the listener to understand your point and to prove your point and make me believe your point. Because right now I just think you're pulling shit out of your ass because your examples are not specific. Like if you said, my client Amy runs a fitness coaching business and she scaled her one-on-one coaching to 7 figures by working with 700 clients at $20 an hour. Obviously the math doesn't math on that. At least that example would then allow me to be like, oh, okay, yep, that math makes sense. It adds up. That's how she makes $1 million. But for you to just say, oh, I know somebody who was successful, very, very anecdotal, surface level, not really proving your point. And it's flashing me back to my examples in 2018 that were made of air.
But you need to figure out what your kind of signature flagship offer is. For me, my 2 7-figure programs, one is multi 7 figures, one is soon to be 7 figures, are hybrid, usually group mentorship programs. And they are built for life-changing results, 5-star results on repeat. First and most importantly, I feel like that should go without saying, but I'm just going to say it anyway. They are built to get people amazing results, and they're also built very strategically to be able to scale. And then we layer on top of that a very simple, again, it doesn't need to be new things all the time, but a simple ascension model with your other offers to maximize client lifetime value, LTV lifetime value. And that is the total amount of revenue that one individual client generates for you.
How much can you suck? How much blood can you suck out of this person in order to make the most amount of money? Because why go ahead and get 1 million new clients for $1 when you could just take $1 million from one poor little sucker? Just saying.
Over the lifetime of them being in your world. So your high ticket program should not be like a one and done offer. You should have smaller offers and bigger offers that lead into long-term repeatable success for your clients and you. So when I
Zip, so true. Zip says the key is being engaging enough in your vague word salad to make the listener believe the details will come after they buy your program. So true. Dangle the carrot, but only promise to tell the people what's in the carrot. You can eat this carrot when you give me the money. And then I just keep moving the carrot further and further because guess what? There was no carrot all along, but only I knew that.
talk about online coach kickstart was my first 7-figure offer. I also had smaller offers that served as entry points and got people who were like on the fence or not quite ready for OCK into my world, experiencing my work, getting quick wins, growing the trust and confidence with me. And then naturally, then that makes OCK, Online Coach Kickstart, feel like the natural next step for them. And then I also have another program after OCK. So Online Coach Kickstart is really designed to take people from 0 to being on track to hit 6 figures in their business. So takes them from the starting point of their business and sets up all of the foundations, sets up, launches, and starts growing a successful coaching business. It's so freaking good that there's even a 5K results guarantee. Like, it's such a good proven program.
Okay, that was the one. I think we watched her webinar for that one when we did this a few years ago, but we can go to that sales page as well because that's very interesting. A 5K sales guarantee.
That it's guaranteed to more than pay for itself, which is like not a lot of people have the audacity to do that, but I do. Anyway, so there are like entry point offers ahead of OCK, and then also once you get to the point where you have the foundations of your business set up and you're ready to really scale, like let's say you're hitting your first 5K plus months and you're like, okay, I'm ready to hit 10K, 20K, 50K, like I want to hit multiple 6, 7 figures, then there's the mastermind. And so and private coaching. So between all of those, I have
Apple does let you speed it up. I'll put it at 1.25 for now.
Entry point offers. I have kind of the flagship offer, and then I also have like upgrade offers beyond that, and they all naturally fit together. So that is really the key, is if you are going to expand your offer suite, make sure that you nail your signature offer first and you have your positioning like so on lock. What I see a lot of people do is just kind of like shotgun an offer. So you can be like, this is interesting, this is interesting, this is interesting, maybe this will work. And they try to do too many things at once instead of figuring out like, what is that flagship core offer? I want to make sure I nail it, sell it until it sells, like make sure I nail the positioning, the result.
Okay, so when she says sell it until it sells, I'm assuming she means create an offer and then just like try and sell it until somebody buys it, which personally I don't really think is great business advice. But what do you guys think? Like, if I think of all the different things I've tried to sell over the years, my most successful business pursuits were ones that, like, as soon as I put the offer out there, people started buying it. I think that if you have to really try and, like, sell something really hard, force people to buy it, talk about it constantly to convince people that it's a good idea, you're probably not really selling something people need. Like, I have many of you who have been here a long time or follow me on Instagram, TikTok, wherever. You probably know I sell a $5 bookkeeping spreadsheet. And that offer, other than like a few TikToks, I'll make a TikTok about it every, week or so. It basically sells itself. I don't have to like convince people to buy it. Yeah, it's like a price point thing because it's $5. So I get that that's a factor. But like I could create something else for $5. In fact, I did. A few years ago, I had a like Instagram planner that was $10. And I only ever sold like 5 of that thing because it wasn't really something people wanted or needed. And so I would have to, sell it until it sells. I would have to promote it, I think, every day until people wanted to buy it. Whereas something like a bookkeeping spreadsheet is something people actually need. And so they don't really have to think about it or be convinced to buy it so much as just like see it and be like, yeah, I need that thing. And then they buy it. So sell it until it sells, in my opinion, is not really good business advice. I think it's more important to like find the right product market fit and make sure that you're selling something people actually need or want to buy. But let me know what you think.
results, the delivery, the scalability of the one offer before I add things around it. Because how are you even going to know what is going to be a good entry point offer? What is going to like naturally ascend into the core offer if the core offer isn't even selling effectively yet, right?
Yes, exactly. Zip says, sell it until it sells. Focus on your marketing instead of improving your content. Exactly. It's like, why would I focus on showing up and selling on Instagram every day rather than focus on making sure that like the offer is good? Because so many times we see these coaches just selling complete garbage that people don't need. And that's why they're not making sales. It's not because they don't know how to sell or they don't know how to market. It's because the actual product itself is not good. Allegedly, in my opinion.
So please don't make the mistake of trying to like put the cart before the horse and do like low ticket first, or do like mini offers, or do courses first, because that's not going to, like, you're going to have to start over. Basically, you're going to have to revamp all of those once you actually do nail your signature, like what is going to be your seven-figure offer. So
I also don't agree with that. I think most people should start with smaller scale focused offers. Like, especially in coaching, I think the people who are successful are the ones who start out. And again, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but what I've seen is the people who start out in one-on-one coaching, they get so many one-on-one clients, they don't have the capacity to continue one-on-one coaching. Then they start group coaching. They create that group coaching offer that then typically becomes their core offer. And then one-on-one becomes like an elite offer or non-existent in some cases. But it seems really weird that you would skip the step of like honing in on your skill of coaching through one-on-one and just immediately try to create whatever your core offer is. Like, I feel like your core offer, I'm confusing myself. Your core offer should just like naturally happen as a result of you doing the work, right? Ah! My brain is already melting and we're only like 20 minutes in. Harrison says, can confirm it sold itself to me. Please don't tell the people about me harassing you in the DMs trying to get you to buy my $5 spreadsheet. The one time you use the automation. I have the DM automation set up for it. He sent me the word. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. The DM automation went off. He was like, no, I was trying to trigger it this time. Too funny. Okay, Suzanne says, I don't like the ascension model. I find it icky. You can have multiple offers that address multiple things, yes, but not multiple offers that offer one crumb leading to the next crumb. 100%. And that comes back to my point about like, think about how much money each client is worth. Like, to me, that's really gross of like, okay, guys, here's how my YouTube channel is going to work. I'm going to get you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Then I'm going to get you into my mastermind for whatever it is, $2.99 a month. Then once you're in that, I'm going to convince you to join the mastermind VIP and pay me $5 a month. And then when you're in the mastermind VIP, I'm going to convince you to become a billionaire and pay me $20 a month. And then like, I don't want to think about each individual person as a dollar sign and like, how much money can I milk out of each individual person versus having an offer suite, much like Suzanne's comment says here, that addresses different things and thinking, okay, Sally, what issue are you presenting with? And do I have an offer that can address that issue for you? Not, okay, Sally, how long can I keep you stuck in my web? And honestly, I think this particular coach learned this from her coach, who she has worked with for many, many years now. And it's like the same thing we see with Stacey Bayman and her crowd, Alpha Femme, Melanie Ann Layer, all of those people that are in those programs. I mean, all of those people is a bit of a generalization. Sorry, Bluetooth is barking. Many of those people that are in those programs stay in those programs for years and years and years.
Everything that you have should naturally lead into long-term repeatable success for your clients and for you. And it should lock in long-term monthly recurring revenue, MRR. That is the only type of MRR that we stand in my community. So we want to be able to stack monthly recurring revenue month over month. And that is how you can have high cash months on repeat without relying on like the constant launches or constantly chasing painful which great. Like I love a good cash injection as much as the next person, but I also like feel so good knowing that as I'm recording this, like what March is tomorrow. Yeah, March is tomorrow. And I don't start over at zero, right? I have thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in monthly recurring revenue already locked in because I have these long-term monthly recurring revenue offers where people are on payment plans, right? So everything in your offer suite should be very strategically designed to lead into and out of that core offer that you're scaling to 7 figures. Yes, again, you can have those like complementary offers that add like revenue pathways for you, but they should nurture future high ticket clients. Like the whole point of your low ticket stuff should be giving people a no-brainer entry point into your world and prime them for the high ticket stuff. So even the way that I'm thinking about it, I'm launching a new low ticket offer probably next week, as long as my team and I have everything ready. But the whole point of this next low ticket offer is that it solves one of the core problems that we get that holds people back from joining OCK. So one of the core problems that they have is like, oh, but I don't know what my niche is. I don't know what my clients are going to be or who my clients are going to be. Hi, Dahlia. I don't know what I'm going to sell yet, but like, I think I want to be a coach. Okay. So now we're about to have a new offer that literally solves that problem, right? Like
You could just Google that. How to find my niche. How to figure out what I'm going to sell to people. You don't need to pay this lady. Please don't pay this lady for whatever her offer is. We'll find the offer. But no, you don't need to pay somebody to learn that. That you can definitely find that for free online. Just saying.
the offer will take care of that. Once they have clarity on those questions, it will be the obvious natural next step for them to now learn how to build and set up and launch and grow that coaching business, right? So if you are going to do those like low ticket, more passive offers, make sure that they are setting people up for the next step. So your 7-figure program will most likely either be your high ticket one-on-one hybrid or your scalable group program. So for most of my clients, the group program is the best strategy move because it allows you to serve people in a one-to-many format and it scales your income without proportionally scaling your time. Of course, correctly structuring a group program is everything. So again, people are getting amazing results and it's truly one-to-many, meaning for every additional sale you make, like every additional sale you make might be, I'm doing a visual on my Instagram live, which is not going to translate on the podcast, but every additional sale that you make is maybe increasing your income this much, but it only increases your workload this much. So that's what makes.
I muted. Sorry, I muted myself because the dogs were barking. They were going crazy. I'm so sorry. Girl, your audio. I'm trying my best, okay? It's late. It's past my bedtime. It's actually not. It's 7:30, but I just don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so what I was saying, guys, don't you guys know that I'm busy right now? I'm going to lose it. Okay, what I was saying, we're just going to let the dogs bark in the background. What I was saying was her core offer. Emily here was asking, what is the offer? Where's the question? Does anyone know what the offer is? The offer is a program. Her core offer is a program for beginner coaches that want to make their first 5K or their first 6 figures. And I believe it's an evergreen program now. Like, I don't even know if she live launches it anymore or if she like actually actively coaches in it. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at her website. But basically there's that program. And then she has another program on top of it, which you then move up into, which I believe is what she's promoting in this podcast, like her mastermind. So you come in as an entry-level coach, you start your business, you grow it to 6 figures, then you move up into her like learn how to make 7 figures program, I think. But again, we'll go to the website and the sales page and do it that way. Yeah, James, this night owl experiment is not working. We are learning that a 7 p.m. live stream does not work because my dogs are having barking hour between 7:30 and 8 p.m. apparently. Okay, let's continue.
A group program. Scalable is like you're stacking your revenue at a disproportionate rate to the workload. Another thing too is as you scale the program, you can of course bring in team members, you can bring in other support staff. I have like the freaking best, most world-class support coaches inside of my programs, and my clients are as equally obsessed with them as they enjoy working with me because I'm
Okay, so maybe that's what she does. Maybe in her entry level program, she has like co-coaches, people that coach under her, much like we see in like Brooke Castillo's world or Stacey Bayman. A lot of them don't actively coach in their lower level programs. They hire coaches to do the coaching for them.
so picky
And typically those coaches are past clients, I believe.
about it. So I'm just going to bust that myth right now that like bringing other people into your business can't do it as well as you. I promise that they can. Like I promise that there are extremely talented people, and most of the people that work in my business, whatever their specialty is, like they are better at their thing than I am. Okay. And I want to just like make this a little bit more tangible and feel more, I guess, realistic for you. So let's do the math of what it would actually take to build a 7-figure program. And again, I'm talking about one program. I'm like reiterating for the people that are just jumping into the live, but like I'm reiterating that I'm talking about building a 7-figure program, one single offer that generates 7 figures, not simply a 7-figure business. Like I want us to dream bigger than that. I want this to be an expander for you. So let's do the math. Let's say you have a 6-month coaching program. And again, this is just like math for math's sake. So these aren't necessarily the exact numbers that I would recommend for you. Again,
I hate when people do this. If you want to make $1,000 a month, all you have to do is make a $5 program and sell it to 200 people, and you'll make $1,000. It's like, I know how to do math, okay? If I want to make 7 figures, $1 million, I can grab a calculator and figure out how many $10,000 programs I'm going to need to sell. Like, I don't need you to do basic math for me. Oh, Erin, I hope everything's okay. And I'm glad that we can help keep you awake. Me panicking to make sure that I unmuted myself. Perfect. Okay. Whew. Whew. Okay.
all of my clients have like very different business models and very different offer suites. But let's say you had a 6-month program.
Okay. Sorry, I keep pausing. All of her clients have very different business models and very different programs. Highly suspicious of that offer or of that statement. If you are a coach that coaches other coaches, regardless of whether you're coaching other coaches on how to coach other coaches, or if you're just coaching other coaches, like coaching fitness coaches or coaching, I don't know, some other kind of coach, I still think the business models are going to be pretty similar. I don't believe that you're a coach that coaches coaches and all of your clients have very different business models. I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid. I do not buy it.
And each client was a $6,000 contract. You would need, for that single program to do $1 million, you would only need 167 clients ever period, to have a 7-figure offer. So 167 people paying you $6,000. Or let's say you had a 12-month, hybrid mastermind or something, and each person is paying $12,000. You need half as many, 84 people to make $1 million. Or if you had a scalable evergreen group program at $2,500 per client, that's 400 people ever total. 400 people to join your thing is $1 million program. So I say those numbers because there are a million ways to make $1 million. There's so many ways that you can do this depending on the size of your program, the price point of your program, etc. But
okay, there's a million different ways to do this depending on the size of your program and the price point of your program. What she is saying here to me, this is how I'm interpreting it, is like, if your program's $100,000, then you only have to sell 10. That's one way. If your program is $10,000, then you have to sell 100 of them. That's another way. If your program is that's not a million different ways to make $1 million. That's a million different prices to make $1 million. To me, a million different ways to make $1 million is, one is you could start a business selling pens. And another way is you could go out on the street and shine people's shoes. And another way is you could become a real estate mogul. And that would be a million different ways to build $1 million business. A million different ways to do math isn't a million different ways to build $1 million business to me. Lady, you don't know what you're talking about. You're pissing me off.
these numbers aren't like anything crazy. I'm not saying that you need to sell thousands of, seats or thousands of contracts. That's the game that you would be playing if you tried to do this with let's say like low ticket passive income. But if you do this correctly with a higher ticket program, then you can very easily make a 7-figure. I don't want to say very easily in terms of like, it's not easy. It takes a lot of strategy and execution and bravery, of course, but simply, it's actually closer than you think, simpler than you think, to be able to generate $1 million with a single program. So obviously, I work really closely with my clients who are on track to be doing this, and we perfect their unique model, their unique offer, so that all the ingredients are on point and they can scale in like the simplest, flowiest, most profitable way possible for them. This is what we're going to be doing again inside of my new cohort of one-on-one and mastermind for 2025. If that is something that you want to chat about and get the details on, DM me mastermind. But let's move on to phase 2. So once we have your offer.
What was phase 1? Find your offer suite? Oh my God. I don't even know.
Figured out. Once we know what your 7-figure offer is going to be, then we go on to phase 2, which is really about optimizing. So we are optimizing the capacity of this offer, and we're also optimizing the visibility. The key here is without sacrificing results.
Okay, so we have our offer, and now we're working on visibility. But to K-Bird's point here, if we don't have a good thing to sell, it doesn't matter. I could decide my offer is going to be, you guys can pay me to watch me drink this sparkling water. But that doesn't mean it's going to be something people actually want to pay for. I could decide tomorrow that I'm going to relaunch my 2019 coaching program, Shift, a 6-week group program teaching you how to shift into your new self. Just because I decide that doesn't mean it's a good thing that people actually want to spend their hard-earned money on, right? So I think we missed the step where we actually find product market fit and build an offer that people actually want to buy. And we're going straight from decide what we want to sell to learn how to market it. And that is why, that is what pisses me off the most about the online business space. Is people want to make it sound like it is the easiest thing in the world, that it's basically a decision to be successful in business. If you want to build a 6-figure business, if you want to build a 7-figure business, if you want to be successful and have time freedom, all you have to do is choose it. All you have to do is wake up tomorrow, decide to start a business, build it, and they will come. And that is not true. I have a YouTube short that I posted probably 4 months ago now. And it's from a long form video that I did reacting to a woman who has appeared on my channel multiple times. She is very infamous in the coaches who sell courses, teaching people how to build their own course space. And all of her content that I've shared on my channel is always around, you can take anything you know and turn it into an online course. And so I have a YouTube short where I'm reacting to her saying that, take any knowledge you have and make it into an online course. And then my response, obviously, is that this is bullshit. Unless you have an audience of people that see you as an authority in that space, it's going to be really hard for you to sell something. And so I bring this up because recently, within the last day or so, someone commented on that YouTube short and asked, I built an ebook about, I don't even remember what the topic of the ebook was. Do you think that's a good business idea? They were asking me. And so my response was, do you have an audience in that subject? Do you have content where you show up and talk about that subject? Does this ebook solve a problem for people that they have come to you and asked for a resolution for? Because if the answer is no, there might not be demand for the thing that you're selling. You might be wasting your time. Anyone can create an offer about anything, but if people don't need that thing or want that thing, you're not going to be able to sell it. And it doesn't matter how much marketing you do, and it doesn't matter how much you sell it. What did she say? Sell until you sell it. It doesn't matter if you're selling a thing that's no good. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, Aaron says they skip over that step every single time. And that's what pisses me off, because so many people think, oh, it's so easy to start an online business. No, it's not. No, it's not. Harrison donated $1.99 and said, sparkling water fees. And to that I say, bottoms up. Just kidding. I can't chug it or I will definitely be burping into the microphone. But to this, I am going to say this.
Have you really got that you are God?
Have you really got that you are God? And if not, I will give you this reminder.
You can buy status by just like spending money to be around these people and then just being a cool person.
You pay me money, you get to hang out. That's how it goes. Those are the rules. I don't make them. Yes, I do. Okay, let's get back to the episode.
So, I mean, it should go without saying that we don't want to scale at the expense of your clients getting amazing results. But I often find like really simple tweaks in my clients' program structure that can increase their capacity by like 2 to 4x just by like little tweaks while getting their clients either same or better results, which then increases the revenue potential for that offer by 2 to 4x just from that change. I know a lot of people like get lazy advice from business coaches of like, oh, just raise your prices. And occasionally, like sometimes that is strategically the right move, but that is definitely not like the blanket solution that everyone should automatically do or something that I tell all my clients to do. There have even been times where I tell my clients like, you know, I think you should walk your price back a bit and have a better like product market fit. This price point would be more competitive.
Holy shit. It took her 20 minutes to even bring up the word product market fit. I'm surprised she even knows what that means. I'm shocked, shooketh, if you will, as the kids are saying.
Competitive for you and actually help you scale faster. So let's update the structure accordingly, whatever. So I actually think finding ways to increase capacity in order to make more money, as long as it still feels like a, you know, a fair energy exchange, of course. Please don't sell something that you're like resenting the energy exchange on. Hi, Krista. Krista popping in. We actually just talked about this together on our one-on-one call yesterday. She said, y'all, Marie is the real deal. Her coaching is fire. Thanks, Krista. I love working together. And she just celebrated her highest sales month ever after a organic, simple, super simple launch strategy that we put together. So hi, Krista. Thanks for being here. Anyway, so I find it's often easier to multiply a program's revenue potential by tweaking the structure versus like, let's just raise the price, because that is not always a good solution. Like that is not always a fit for every situation. So another quick tip I want to give you here, if you are working on optimizing the capacity and visibility of your offer and you're wondering like, where do I need to focus on? Where do I need to be problem solving? What do I need to do next? Ask yourself this question. If my business doubled tomorrow, or for this specific, you know, topic, if my offer doubled tomorrow, what will break? Because that will very quickly show you where your capacity, where your systems, where you are limiting your revenue. So I love that question. If my business doubled tomorrow, what would break? And that is where your next level of growth is waiting. And so that's why when
if my business doubled tomorrow, what would break? My mental health. Oh, goodness.
high level clients come and start with me, we like go through their entire business model and their revenue goals and their projections. And we reverse engineer that and look at like, okay, where are their bottlenecks? Where are their leaks? Where are we limiting, or where are we not able to actually sustain that capacity to reach these numbers? In this case, we're talking about a 7-figure program, but like, where is that currently impossible based on the way that the business is set up, the way that you show up? And we like put those as priorities to execute on. So all of my high level clients, when they come in and start working with me, we have a very in-depth, like one-on-one kickoff intensive where I'm going through with a fine tooth comb with like a freaking magnifying glass and looking at all these things and seeing where are they not capable of scaling? Where do they not have the capacity to scale? Where are they not able to actually like collect and support and sustain the amount of revenue that they want to be making? And a lot of this is in their program capacity. And a lot of that is also in visibility, meaning,
again, saying words, not really explaining what she means. Like, oh, their capacity to what? What's capacity? What are you, in this context, what are you saying? Because to me, it's giving the very vague, unclear, or I'm just a little dumb idiot. 50-50. Could be either.
they don't have the visibility to support the amount of leads that they need in order to hit those numbers. So more,
again, it's always visibility. It's always an issue with your marketing. It's an issue with, you know, not showing up and selling. It's never an issue with the fact that you're selling something people don't want to buy. No. You just got to buy my program and I'll teach you how to market it correctly. Run away.
either like when it comes to scaling, we're either usually solving for capacity, or we're solving for visibility. So visibility simply means, again, getting in front of enough of the right people to fill all the spots that you need to fill. So we just talked about the math of like, if you have a $2,500 offer, you need to sell that 400 times for that to be a 7-figure offer. But you're like, how am I going to sell it to 400 people? That is visibility. And we can do that purely organically. I believe we hit the first 7 figures for Online Coach Kickstart organically, or at least the first $500,000 fully organically with no ads. I'm definitely not the person that like demonizes ads. I freaking love ads, and I wish I would have started them sooner.
I actually have a funny story about this woman and ads. So a few months ago, I posted on Threads asking people if anyone has ever had success selling, because I don't know anything about Facebook ads. I used to run Facebook ads like willy-nilly for my yoga studio. If I was like hosting a retreat or something, I would just like throw money at ads. Very inexperienced, don't really know what I'm doing. So I asked on Threads if anyone had experience selling a low ticket offer using Facebook ads specifically, or Instagram, Facebook Meta ads, and whether or not that's even like worth my money. So like basically I was thinking, you know, I have this bookkeeping spreadsheet that sells very well organically, but maybe if I put, you know, some money behind ad spend, it's a $5 product. If I could, you know, spend $3 per lead on ads, I would still get $2 profit. At scale, that could be a lot of money. So anyway, I asked this on Threads just out of curiosity. And this woman was one of the people that answered and said it only makes sense to run tickets for a low, or ads for a low ticket offer if you have a high ticket program to scale them into, because basically you're going to spend so much on ads that you're not going to convert people. So you'll lose money if you're selling a low ticket offer using ads, allegedly, is what she said. Anyway, I'm sharing that just as like an anecdotal little funny thing that happened to me, because now she's here on my YouTube channel. So sorry about that.
But we can definitely do this purely organically by growing your audience across different platforms, by creating omnipresence that way. But we can also, once we have a proven sales process, a proven funnel, a proven offer, product market fit, et cetera, proven positioning, we can add fuel to the fire and start leveraging paid ads that bring new eyes to your work, funnel them into various levels of your offer suite. Because remember, when you optimize your offer suite, all roads are going to lead to Rome. All roads are going to lead to that flagship offer that is able to hit 7 figures, ultimately ascending into that 7-figure offer. So personally, I prioritize both. I prioritize both the organic content, the organic marketing, as well as the paid traffic and the funnels, and everything works together. So I would guess she doesn't get a ton of organic traffic anymore, or like she probably used to when she had a big following that was actually engaged. But we'll go to her Instagram after. But like, I think she has around like 150 followers on Instagram, and her engagement is like not very good, because the people that originally followed her for fitness content. Like I unfollowed her when she became a business coach. But I would hazard to guess that most of her leads probably come through paid marketing and not organically. Again, speculation, allegedly, my opinion. like to look at marketing as this ecosystem versus like silos that are operating separately. So that takes us to phase 3 of what it takes to build a 7-figure program. Phase 3 is all about you. Like you are going to be your own block. You are going to be your own sticking point if you do not take this phase very, very seriously. So phase 3 is all about operating like a CEO, not a service provider. As your business and your income scales, your time becomes exponentially more valuable. Exponentially. So if you're constantly stuck in the weeds, you cannot scale. If you are spending 2 hours on random busy work that doesn't move the needle, that gets really expensive. So think about it this way. If you had spent those 2 hours instead on a revenue generating activity, how much money could you have made in those 2 hours? Right? So for me, I can very easily get...
I remember hearing this when I first started out in business, and similar to what's happening in this podcast, people often say, you know, you need to focus on the revenue generating activities. You can't be wasting your time doing busy work. But none of them really take the time to explain to you what that means. Like, what is busy work? What is a revenue generating activity? And obviously I know a revenue generating activity is an activity that generates revenue. But what does that mean? If I look at a daily calendar of all the tasks I need to do in my business, what would be directly linked to me making revenue and what would be like a time wasting filler activity. I know now because I've been in business for 7 years. But when I was a beginner, I remember listening to stuff like this being like, I still don't understand what I'm supposed to do in a day. Can someone please tell me what I can do to make more money? Because I don't know. And none of these people are telling me.
Get sucked into, like, I love fucking around in Canva. I love like messing with my Instagram carousel templates. I love all that stuff. Like, that's fun for me. But I could have spent those 2 hours closing multiple 5 figures in sales. So that was a really expensive 2 hours for me to waste in Canva. So you need to get so serious and so intentional about your time. Getting stuck in the weeds, getting stuck in busy work is extremely expensive, and it's going to keep you from scaling. So 7-figure coaches, 7-figure service providers, they don't just deliver results. They don't just get their clients results. They don't just hustle. They own their zone of genius, and they protect their time so fiercely. So the shift of going from like an expert, or
they protect their time by hiring people to outsource the work to so that they never actually have to work. And then their clients get upset because they're not actually getting coaching from the person they thought they were. But it's not my problem because I'm making so much money. I literally do not care. Yeah, Zip says, I guess they think your pie chart should be 100% sales and everything else should be outsourced. In fact, you shouldn't even be having your own sales calls. You should be paying someone commission-based only to do the sales for you so that you can just be chilling, my guy. She uses a lot of words to say nothing. Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. So true, Suzanne. So true.
or an entrepreneur, a solopreneur to a CEO, you stop spending time on the tasks that don't move the needle. There are so many things that you're probably doing right now that A, don't even matter. Like, if they just didn't get done, nothing bad would happen. And B, could be very easily done by someone else. I said a little bit earlier in this live, which is a podcast episode, that a lot of people like wait way too long to hire because they think that there's no way someone else could possibly do it as good as me. I have, I believe, 12 people on my team at any given time right now, and every single one of them is better at their zone of genius than I am. That's why I hired them.
Okay. To a degree, I understand. Sometimes you reach a point where it does make sense to outsource things to other people, take it off your plate, gives you more time to do, the stuff that is going to help you grow. But I think that in this case, she's speaking in like very like extremes almost, I guess is the right way to phrase it. She's speaking in a way where it's like, if you want to scale, you have to outsource. And if you don't outsource, you won't scale. But I think if we're so focused on scaling and making all this money and growing our business, we kind of lose the plot a little bit. Like, I remember getting into a bit of an argument with a friend of mine because she very much has sort of like fallen down this rabbit hole of, she's like a music coach. And sometimes she's borderline, like, comes off a little bit scammy, if I'm being honest. And so we got into a conversation one day because she is working with a mentor right now. And this mentor was referring her to all these different books and stuff where she was learning, how to scale a business, how to build time freedom. And she was saying to me, because I was just mentioning in passing how much time I spend every week editing YouTube videos. And her response to me was, well, you should just outsource that, hire an editor, and that'll give you time to, actually focus on scripting the content and doing other things in her business. And she's not wrong. That absolutely would save me time. There would be a cost associated with that. And like, I don't make a ton of money through YouTube. I would probably be paying out of pocket for that, but there is a cost to scaling. So I outsource to an editor. Presumably that frees up more time for me to script more videos, film more content, meaning I could put out more than one video a week because someone else is editing it for me. I understand that. However, for me, part of the joy, at least right now, as a creator, is in the process of learning how to edit my videos and getting to play with the different effects and learn how to do different stuff. There is a joy that comes from doing some of those like time-wasting activities, like she was mentioning earlier, designing stuff in Canva, creating. For me specifically, because I am a creative person, I enjoy the activities that don't necessarily make me money, because I enjoy them. And part of the reason why I decided to build a business is so that I could make money and build a life around the concept of being able to do the things that I enjoy to like doing. And so I think we lose the plot if we're so focused on how can we scale? How can we make more money? How can I take this off my plate so I can make more money? Then we're no longer really like doing the thing that we like to do because we're so focused on how can we do it as efficiently as possible. Right? So I just think there's something to be said about remembering why we started a business in the first place and connecting with like, okay, but if I outsource everything other than like me showing up 1 hour a week to coach a group of people, is that really why I wanted to start a business? And for some people it is. Like, so back to the story about me and this woman, this friend of mine having this argument. For her, she doesn't care about doing all the other stuff. She wants to be able to have time to like focus on doing her music. So she's trying to like outsource every other part of her business. And I think that's great. If that's your specific goal is to have time to create music and you don't want to spend time editing and you don't want to spend time writing scripts and coming up with concepts, that's fine. But for me, that's part of the fun, at least for now. I think eventually I will outsource my editing. But right now I'm at a place where I'm like, I enjoy this. This is fun. I like doing it. And so I think it's really important as the business owner yourself to not just listen to people like this and be like, oh, well, this woman's telling me I need to outsource and only do revenue generating activities. Therefore, that's what I'm going to do. No, you need to ask yourself why you started your business. What's important to you? What do you value? What do you enjoy? And yes, making money is important, but it's not always about scaling, making so much money. So that's my rant. I'm going to get off my soapbox and see what you guys have to say. This is why I don't want to be a manager. I like doing the actual work, not telling other people to do the things I like. 1,000%. I remember this. I used to work at a like country club, private golf course. And this was when I quit my 9-to-5 job. So I worked at this golf course when I was in university, graduated university, got a big girl job, did that for a few years, quit that job, got a part-time job back at this golf course that I had worked at throughout university. And my plan was, I'm just going to be a little cog in the machine. I'm going to show up, clock in, have my little 4-hour shift, make some money, go home, build my business. We got like partway through the season, they ended up having to fire a bunch of people because they're all a bunch of little 20-something silly heads. Fired. Manager, boss, general manager comes up to me, Danielle, you're the only person here with experience. We need you to come become the shift leader, manager, supervisor, whatever. I'm thinking, I just showed up here because I needed to make some money while I'm building this business. I ain't got time to be the boss of everybody else and to not just like show up, do my job and go home. Now I got all these responsibilities. Anyway, I was friends with the GM, so I did it as a favor to her, but I digress. Totally get what you're saying here. Sometimes you just want to do the work. You don't want to be responsible for only the boring stuff that makes the money. You want to just like show up and do the thing. I totally get that. Ben, this comment's killing me. Ben says, I think we need more life coaches teaching people to marry for money. Seems like a very practical approach with proven results. Not like this junk. Actually, I'm not going to say, I'm not saying marry for money, but statistics show that who you choose as a life partner is one of the most pivotal decisions you will make in your lifetime. And I can speak from experience. Having previously been engaged to someone who is not very good at managing their money to my current relationship, very, very different situations. So, should you marry for money? No. But should you have financial conversations with the person you are choosing to spend your life with? Yes. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. That comment did make me laugh, though, so thank you. Yes, 100%. Zip says, also, maybe it's okay to wait until your business has more than a full-time amount of work to worry about the issues of scaling. This is a trap I think a lot of coaches specifically get caught in, and, you know, small business owners who listen to these coaches. is seeing someone who already has a multiple 6-figure, 7-figure business saying, you know, hire a team, outsource this, outsource that. And then thinking that you need to apply that to like your business that's making $50,000 a year. Again, coming back to this conversation I was having with this friend, her point was really like, well, Danielle, if you outsource your YouTube editing, you'll have time to make more YouTube videos, which will bring you more revenue, which will scale your business. And to an extent, I'm sure that's true. But if you're outsourcing tons of different things right at the beginning when you're not making a lot of money and you don't actually have that proven offer, that product market fit, you know, the thing that's actually scaling already on its own organically, I don't think it makes sense to be outsourcing a ton of things right off the bat. Also a good point. William says there's also the practical benefit of not being high and dry if your outsource leaves / is absent. Yeah, if you're outsourcing all of these tasks in your business and then some emergency comes up and they're not available and you don't know how to edit your YouTube videos and your editor's like, oh, I got to take a month off. What are you going to do? Go find somebody else? Like, that could be tough. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Yeah, knowing how to edit, etc., helps you when you need to communicate with your editor. And I think it's a good skill to have if your editor's all of a sudden like, bye, you can still jump in and take over. Aaron says, someone should have given me this life advice when I chose my partner at age 20. Oh, the silly decisions we make in our youth. We're doing the best we can, okay? Yeah, contractors aren't like having employees. Very, very true. Okay, let's continue.
Like, we do not need to settle for people that are going to do subpar work. There are people who will be better at the things that like they are doing in your business than you are. And that's what you should be doing with hiring. I think the hardest thing to hire for is like content and marketing. I do my own content and marketing for that reason. So if I hire people in my business, they're expected to be better at the thing than I am. My COO, my virtual assistant, my graphic design.
Okay, this woman posts lots of like trending reels. I don't really think it takes a content marketer to be able to do that. It's because you have a personal brand. Obviously, you can't outsource content if you're a personal brand. I can't be like, oh, I'm going to hire you to run my Instagram. My Instagram is me, my life, my face. So yeah, obviously, you're not going to outsource that.
My podcast producer. I have amazing support coaches who all contribute unique angles in Zone of Genius and specific niche knowledge. I have, what else? Bookkeeper, ads manager. All these people are better at their things than I am. So most of my clients who are building 7-figure offers with me are focusing or getting to the point where they are able to focus only on coaching, marketing, and CEO decision-making. Like the things that have to be done by them. And then they are building out their team that can handle the day-to-day execution, the scalable client support, the admin work. And again, none of this is done at the expense of client results or client satisfaction. So an easy way that
I would love to know if that's true. I want to go on Reddit after and see if this woman has been written about on Reddit.
You can run with this is to calculate or ballpark how many hours a week you are actually spending being the CEO.
And sorry, I want to continue on that thought. I say that because based on anecdotal conversations I've had allegedly with people, possibly, potentially, who are former clients, not of this coach, but Stacey Bayman specifically, have expressed to me that they really did not appreciate signing up for her program and then realizing after they had already paid for it that she was not doing the coaching and that her employees, contractors, were doing the coaching. Same with the life coach school. I have heard from some dissatisfied clients, if you will, that they join these programs because they look up to this celebrity coach entrepreneur and then they get in the container and the person's not even doing the coaching. They're being coached by some random person. It's like client satisfaction where? We don't know her.
And operating in your zone of genius. So that means you're not doing random busy work. You're not fixing like broken tech. You're not chasing failed payments. You're not doing things that literally any other person could do. How many hours a week are you actually just doing CEO activities or doing like your coaching, your content creating, your CEOing? And if that is like 50% or less of your weekly hours you're spending working, we need to fix that. Like anywhere that you are not moving the needle, you're spending time on things that don't move the needle in your business, you are costing yourself money. So this is something, again, that I do with my high level clients in my new one-on-one and mastermind container. Like we are going to take you from being that scrappy operator to an embodied CEO, so that not only can your business finally scale and you actually have the capacity and energy and leadership to scale, but you also can scale your lifestyle as much as your business, because that's a place where a lot of people actually get into like self-sabotage cycles. Is they're like, oh, well, my business is already hard. Like I'm already working a lot. I'm already working hard. So I'm going to sabotage the opportunity to scale because I don't think I can hold my business. I can't just do more. Like I can't do 2 times more than I'm already doing now. No, you can't. And that's the point. Like that's not scaling. That's just hustling. So we will look extremely closely again.
Let the record show that despite what these hustle girl boss business babes want to tell you, you do not need to scale your business. Why does everyone act like scaling your business is the ultimate goal of everyone? It's not. I mean, I have this argument with Pablo all the time because obviously he's a tech bro. My partner is a tech bro, if you guys didn't already know that. And he starts, I call them real businesses. That's a dig at me, not anyone else. He starts like actual corporations, we'll call them, that scale to large amounts of money, because he has multiple employees and he's building like a big scale business. I have to often explain to him, like, not everyone wants to build a business to become worth 50 million, 100 million, $1 billion, whatever it is. Some of us just want to be able to do work that we enjoy and live off that income, make enough money to get by, maybe make a little bit extra so we have some money in savings and we could do fun things. But I have no desire to have 75 employees that I have to tell them what to do. I just want to work. Me, little old me, and maybe a couple contractors and call it a day. Like, not everyone needs to be obsessed with scaling a business and scale, 6 figures, 7 figures. Blah, 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 blah. What is our obsession? It's like we have been conditioned in the online space to believe that you are only successful if you scale your business. And yet, how many times have we seen people who scaled to multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, only to later fire everyone and enter their soft girl era? Because guess what? It wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Like, there are certain stresses and challenges that come with continuously trying to scale a business. If we're so focused on always growing, and then that growth gets stunted at some point, how are we going to feel? We're going to have to fire everyone. That's going to be stressful, don't you think? Like, ay Dios. I'm just reading the comments. Aaron says, yeah, I don't want an empire. I don't want employees. I just want to be able to pay my rent without worrying and know that I can help my kid out if she needs it. Exactly. You get me. You, me, same page. Yeah, how about just getting things in working order first? William, that sounds like you're a broke hater and you just need to embody your CEO mindset and believe that you will be successful. Yeah, scaling your business is the goal whenever you aren't ever the one doing the work. If you're lazy and you just want to get rich, then scaling your business is for you.
With a magnifying glass of what needs to change in your business so that you can scale not just your business, but also build a 7-figure offer. So that is phase 3. Again, the first 3 phases of what it takes to build a 7-figure offer are: number 1, building that scalable suite of Ascension offers that multiply income and lead into that signature flagship 7-figure offer. Phase 2 is optimizing capacity and visibility without sacrificing results. In fact, the results should just keep getting even better. Phase 3 is operating like a CEO, not a service provider. Phase 4 of what it takes to build a 7-figure offer is getting your support system on lock. Like, this is so serious. I already said, I think my team is up to like 12 amazing women on any given week right now. And I don't know a single 7-figure entrepreneur, much less someone with a 7-figure program, who is an island. Like, I don't know a single person. There's definitely ways to do it lean and with a smaller team than I have, but I don't know a single 7-figure entrepreneur who is an island. Like, we do not operate in isolation. We don't try to figure out everything on our own. We know that proximity to power.
Okay, to be fair, I forgot that this episode is specifically targeted at people that want to build a 7-figure business. Could not be me, but I suppose there are people who fit that niche.
In proximity to expertise collapses timelines. So for me, if I'm like, oh, if I can hire someone to do this faster than me, I'm getting money back. Like I am making money because I can then put that time into something that I'm the best at and that I can use to generate revenue. So obviously all of the 7-figure entrepreneurs that I know, whether it is friends, clients, mentors, etc., we all have a team. We all have at least one mentor. I've had multiple mentors at once before as well. And we all invest really heavily into our health, into our energy, into our mindset. So both mentally and physically, so we can be who we need to be in order to reach these goals also, because I would not be able to hold well over 100 clients at any given time. I would not be able to hold and circulate the amount of money that is part of this. I would not be able to lead the team. I would not be able to hold the visibility that is involved in this if I was not also taking immaculate care of myself, if I wasn't also really supporting.
What does it mean to hold the visibility? I would not be able to hold the visibility. Guys, this is me not holding the visibility, and now I'm holding it. It's like a magic trick. Wow, would you look at that? I do want to highlight this comment, so true. Limiting beliefs and choosing not to prioritize scaling is self-sabotage. Yeah, if you don't want a multiple 6 or 7-figure business, it's just because you have imposter syndrome and you don't believe in yourself. So you should buy my mindset course to fix that.
Both in and out of my business. And so the people that are sustaining 7 figures are delegating as much as possible to stay in our zone of genius. And we have support for running that one program that's hitting 7 figures, right? To make sure that it is running smoothly, the capacity is not coming at the cost of client experience, that nothing is falling through the cracks, and that they're really like a well-oiled machine. And again, when you commit to scaling a singular program, that allows you to have depth and really like refine and layer and optimize as you go. So if a program has been around for 5 years, like, of course, we have iterated so much. We have updated, we have refined, we have made it better and better every single year. And that takes like manpower, that takes support, that takes experts. And scaling, trying to scale alone is like an oxymoron. Like it will keep you stuck. So if you've already invested in, let's say, team members or mentors that like didn't work out, that is a sign to learn from that and lean in, and that you don't necessarily need like more information, especially if you're someone.
Yeah, if you invested in a mentor and it didn't work out, the solution is to just buy my mentorship instead, because that person sucks, but I don't suck. So give me money and you can also just learn from me instead. Thanks.
It's like, oh, I've wasted so much money on courses or like done DIY things. Like you need integration, you need execution. And this is like, especially my zone of genius with my clients, is like, we do not just talk about things. We make plans of action and we hold people accountable to actually implementing what we talk about. In my mastermind, for example, we meet like weekly and you have unlimited access to me daily. So we are getting shit done, and we are always planning of like, okay, what's the next
unlimited access to you daily? Absolutely not. No. I do not want clients calling me all day, every day. Me personally, I make it very clear. I will only guarantee to answer you between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Even then, I probably might not answer you for 48 hours if I'm being honest. Nobody's getting all day, every day access to me. Heck no. No, thank you. I do not subscribe.
Already, what's the next thing? What's keeping this from, getting finished, and always moving the needle. So that is phase 4, getting your support system on lock. Let's talk phase 5 of what it takes to build a 7-figure offer. And that is
So phase 4 was basically buy my coaching program. I will be your support system. That's what I understood anyway.
Like relentless refinement. Phase 5 is tweaking, experimenting, optimizing every lever that you pull, because this is really what separates like 6-figure coaches from the 7-figure leaders, people that have 7-figure offers. They aren't always chasing the next thing. They're not starting over every 3 months. They are not like getting caught up in shiny object syndrome. They are not letting like boredom get the best of them. They are not focusing on what everyone else is doing. They refine what is already working and they scale strategically. That's not to say you can't like have some pop-up offers or have fun with your business by any means. I do those things as well, but it's never at the expense of what's scalable and what's already working, right? So the small things really add up. Like if we can increase your visibility by 20%, if we can increase your application volume by 15%, if we can increase the conversion from application to sale by 10%, like those optimizations alone can add, let's say 6+ figures in revenue just by themselves. But you have to be willing to get nitty gritty. You have to enjoy the process of getting nitty gritty and like going through things with a fine tooth comb. Luckily for my clients.
What does it mean to get nitty gritty? Guys, you got to be willing to get nitty gritty if you want to be successful. The secret to 7 figures is to get nitty gritty. You heard it first.
I love that shit. And so I help them really decipher like every piece of it. And oftentimes I'll be like, well, what's the number for this? What's the conversion rate here? And they're like, I don't know. That's a good question. So this is something that I am constantly digging into with my clients, is figuring out where do we need to optimize, because I get like when you are scaling, it's uncharted territory, right? It's things that you have not come across before. You have never had to optimize and refine with this much detail before. So I know exactly where we need to look to figure out where things are working or where things can work better. Because again, those small optimizations of 5% better, 10% better, 20% better, like at this level equals 6 figures, right? So you have to enjoy the process of getting nitty gritty with each lever. And
holy fucking word salad. I tried to actually listen to what she was saying for the last 30 seconds. I think she's just saying words, but not really saying anything. You gotta something to get 6 figures, huh?
Are working or where things can work better. Because again, those small optimizations of 5% better, 10% better, 20.
Right. 5% better, 10%, 20% better is going to get you to 6 figures. 5% better what? What's getting 5% better? I'm so confused, guys. What is she saying?
20% better, like at this level equals 6 figures, right? So you have to enjoy the process of getting nitty gritty with each lever and optimizing them, instead of always getting distracted by new shit all the time, having a bunch of like mediocre half-baked products getting you mediocre results. Like if we could channel that energy into your 7-figure program, you're going to be golden. And you have to be willing to, within that program, innovate and experiment.
Holy shit. It's like she went on ChatGPT and she said, write me the most buzzword-filled word salad about building a 6-figure business. And this is what it came up with. The percentages, what's the context? I don't know. 5% better what? Your guess is as good as mine, my friend. That's all I got to say.
So the program as it is now, my first 7-figure program, Online Coach Kickstart, like as it is now, again, that program's been around for 5 years. So where it is now, like the results people are getting now, the way that we sell it, the way that it's packaged, the way that we lead it, the price, everything about it has changed multiple times since its inception in 2020 or 2019. I can't remember, but it's been, I think this year is a 5-year anniversary. So a 7-figure offer requires excellence. And that one's again closing in on 2 million this year, but it requires that relentless refinement. And this is like what I do with my high level clients again, is we get so specific about what levers we need to pull, what things we need to refine. And we are not shying away from like rolling our sleeves up and figuring shit out. So inside that new one-on-one. And
what is she talking about pulling levers to? Like, I literally don't understand what she's talking about. What levers are we pulling in our business and refining and pulling? Huh?
Mastermind hybrid that I'm putting together a cohort for 2025. That's where you will get my eyes like laser focused on your business, on your offer suite, on the best candidate that you have for a 7-figure offer, on your marketing, on your positioning, on every freaking step of your sales process, on your funnels or the funnel that we all build together. Like it takes that level of intention, of strategy, of tactical implementation. And that is like my favorite thing. It's
so many buzzwords. Yeah. Much to Zip's comment here, I think it's really just, how can I make it sound like I know what I'm talking about to someone who knows nothing about business? They might listen to this and be like, wow, this woman, I just don't understand what she's saying because I don't know anything. So I should probably pay her so I can learn what it is she means. Like, no, the reason why you don't understand what she's saying is because she's not making any sense, allegedly, in my opinion.
Giant puzzle for me. So that is everything. Well, not everything. That is the high level view of the 5 phases for what it takes to build a 7-figure offer. If you are ready to scale your 7-figure offer, you already have like probably the program, you probably have the expertise, you probably have gotten your clients amazing results already. It's time to scale it properly and for you to step into your CEO era with, of course, unlimited mentorship via both one-on-one and mastermind support. So I am putting together a new cohort for my mastermind for 2025. And this is certainly not another giant
Again, like I already said, the unlimited support thing to me, red flag for a couple of reasons. As a service provider, red flag. I don't want my clients to have all the time access to me. But second, from a client perspective, I think that's how you're setting yourself up for disappointment, like setting the client up for disappointment. Because if you're telling me I get unlimited access to you and then I reach out to you and you take 48 hours to answer me, that's not really unlimited. That was my experience in coaching. The coach said, unlimited access Monday through Friday, and then she would take multiple days to get back to me. So it's like, why don't you just be honest with what you can offer rather than promising something you don't want to deliver on?
Group program. This is very intimate, very high touch, unlimited support between me and you, and it is very low, as in zero tolerance for fluff. This is where leaders come to innovate, to move fast, raise the standard of the entire industry. And we love an action taker, like I said before. So the fastest action takers to secure their spots are also going to get a one-on-one in-person VIP day with me. So all you have to do to inquire and get all the details about this one-on-one mastermind space is DM me mastermind, and I'll send you all the details for the 2025 cohort, and I will
love the scarcity urgency sales tactics. If you sign up today, I will give you a bonus because we love action takers. Let me manipulate you into buying my program. Ooh.
chat with you about exactly how it works, what we can accomplish together, what it will look like, where I see your growth opportunities, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm so excited about this new space. I hope this was helpful, giving you kind of the roadmap and acting as an expander of what it takes to build a 7-figure program. Again, if you comment program in this post.
Okay, we get the idea. All right, I'm going to switch here, and then I'm going to go and see if I can find her coaching program. Give me a second. I still don't know why my camera is not in focus, so I do apologize. Okay. Let's go to her website. I don't know why I'm singing everything. I'm really sorry. I know I'm an excellent singer, so you're welcome, but I'm also very sorry you have to listen to that. Okay. So this is her website. The business and life of your dreams are closer than you think. So this is the first program she mentioned, Online Coach Kickstarter. This is the one that she's allegedly grown to almost $2 million. And I believe it runs on like an evergreen webinar funnel because we've watched the webinar before. So it says, hey, coach, we will teach you how to add at least $5,000 in new sales to your business, guaranteed. No catch. As long as you show up and do the work, your results are guaranteed. And then it says full terms and conditions apply. So you have to show up and do the work. That seems a little bit subjective, allegedly, in my opinion. And I think probably a loophole for her to say, oh, you missed one coaching call, therefore no refund for you. Okay, all these bonuses. It's so weird to me that you would start your sales page with all these bonuses. Like, what am I even buying in the first place? I don't really care about what the bonuses are. I want to know what I'm paying for in the first place, right? No countdown, Alexis, correct. However, if we look at the first line here, it does say one-on-one strategy session. There was 7 and now there's only 2 remaining. So you better hurry, because if you don't buy now, you might miss out on the one-on-one coaching. Still working on those. This would be a golden time to bust out the mocking sock puppets. Still on my to-do list. Haven't got there. Maybe I should outsource that. Hire someone to make me a sock puppet. William asks, what's her track record exactly? We can go to her about page, but TLDR, she was a fitness YouTuber turned fitness coach, turned coach for fitness coaches, turned coach for all types of coaches. Okay, so this is the program. Same kind of sales page we've seen 8,000 times. I kind of hate this background, these fonts, hard to read. Basically, oh my God, there's so many words too. This is really not well done in my opinion. So it's a 5-month program that will cover everything you need to know in order to launch and fill your coaching program and build a 6-figure business. That's a bold claim. Tried and tested with over 500 graduates. We can guarantee your results. And so 8 months of daily personalized implementation support. Not only do we make sure you get all the strategies you need, but when it comes to implement, you'll receive dedicated feedback from Marie and your support coaches to make your implementation 10 out of 10. This isn't really coaching. To me, this is like consulting. If you're going to take a direct look at my strategy, my implementation plan, and give me feedback, that's not really coaching, in my opinion. That's like strategic consulting. But anyway, I digress. So the program is almost $5,000. So basically the idea is that, yes, the program pays for itself. And that's that. So the idea is you join, excuse me, this woman's putting me to sleep. You join, you do this program, and then I think you enter into like the next level program. So you would move there into the mastermind, a high touch luxury mastermind container for coaches and creators and online service providers who aren't just available for more, they expect it. Okay. Again, I don't like this sales page just personally. I don't like things that are center aligned. I find it hard to read when there's so much text, but that's just my opinion. Elite level coaching, whatever that means, and strategic advisory that goes beyond generic theory. Well, based on your podcast, I'm thinking it sounds pretty generic. A backstage pass to my business, an intimate hand-selected community of women. And so I'm assuming these are the women in the mastermind. Can you imagine you join a coaching program, you guys go to like a retreat or something, and the coach is like, can we take a picture where you all stand around me laughing like you're having a good time and smile for the camera? I would be like, I'm busy. No, we're not doing that. So like, is enrollment open all the time? Because that podcast we listened to is from March and it's now June. And it's 4-month program. So if she was enrolling in March, you would think it would be April, May, June, July, which means the program wouldn't start again until August. So that's interesting that she's constantly enrolling people. Flexible investment options start at $11,000. Holy moly. Oh, this type form has moved. Let's see. Okay, I gotta stop sharing my screen because my address always autofills on these stupid forms. And ain't nobody showing up at my house. I'll tell you that for free. Primary email address. Burner email for sure. Instagram username. My fake one. Location. I'll just say Toronto. What has drawn you? Okay, I'll bring you guys back. Now you can see all the secret stuff is over. What has drawn you to the Empire Mastermind? Why do you feel that this program could be the answer you've been looking for? I can't. Oh no, because this is for the next level. So excited for high touch support. SOS. Which option are you looking at? Definitely private coaching, for sure. What type of business do you have? I am a coach that helps coaches get clients. I offer one-on-one coaching. What's my current average monthly revenue? Obviously, 50 to 100K. Duh. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Dream big with me, Jane. Where would you love for your business to be in the next 6 to 12 months? I want to scale to $1 million per year through hiring a team so I can work less. Because that's the dream, baby. We scale so we don't have to work anymore. How will your life look? So good, so free. I love it. They're going to read this and be like, this bitch is not serious. Because I'm not. What do you feel like you need in order to make that happen? I need more coaching. I personally review each application to make sure that you're someone I want to take under my wing. Why do you feel that you are a great fit? I love you. Okay, Jane, I'm ready to give you the tools, but I only work with women who are highly coachable and ready to do the work. Oh my God, this is so manipulative. I hate this. Can I count on you to be an action taker? Well, yeah, because I am not a loser. I am so committed to the cause. Here we go. This is the information I wanted. Ah! I clicked the wrong button. Okay. If selected, you will be invited to book a clarity call where we will map out a customized game plan for hitting your goals, go over program details, and get you enrolled if it's a perfect fit. With that in mind, are you open to making a $10,000 investment if this is a hell yes for both of us? Yes, I am. Let's fucking go. Okay, that's it. But then she's going to DM me. I didn't even give her a real Instagram. But like, again, stupid. What if I don't want you to DM me on Instagram? Please do not DM me on Instagram. In fact, I tell so many people, like there was a guy in my inbox last week from a brand trying to hire me. And I was like, dude, you need to email me. I don't deal with this stuff on Instagram. I message people on Instagram. I'll reply to your message eventually, but oftentimes I will ignore people. I'll read your message. I might react to it, and then I don't respond because I get so many messages on Instagram. I cannot, in my brain, keep them clear. Like I had a friend who every time she wanted to make plans, she's trying to do it through my business Instagram account. I'm like, girl, you need to text me because we're not having this conversation here. I'm overwhelmed. Please don't DM me. You guys can DM me. Me and you, we got something special. But everyone else, don't do it. Okay, let me catch up on the comments because I have been ignoring you guys. From 7 to 2 seems like an interesting number. Yeah, very true. Suzanne said, at least she mentions the support coaches. Most of them don't. I will say, I was thinking as she was reading it when it said, or as I was reading it where it said, you will receive unlimited support from Marie and her team of coaches. I would guess that most of the support you'll receive is from the sub coaches and not the woman herself. She's boring. I just woke up and I feel sleepy. So true, Erin. Such diversity in that group pic. Oh, man. Can I go back? Where is it? Yeah, that's what they all look the same. Even she looks the same as them. Did she tell them all to wear white? Make sure you wear beige or white to our photo shoot because I'm wearing black. Do any of these people ever respond to you? No. Although, to be fair, they might have, and I don't. My burner email account has over 6,000 unread emails. So I only go in there once every couple of weeks. Like I was in there today because I was trying to find something to react to. And so I only end up looking at like the first 2 pages. So if anyone has ever responded to me, I probably missed it. Oh no. Imagine the scammers have your address and show up to your doorstep like Jehovah's Witnesses saying, have you ever heard about our life coach and savior, Brooke Castillo? Oh, this is getting silly. Oh no. Yeah, so true. Why would she choose a platform like Instagram for her communication? She does not own that platform. Her account could be gone tomorrow. Exactly. Like not only me as the client, like from a client perspective, do I not want these people DMing me, but from a business perspective, if my clients wanted me to talk to them through Instagram, I would be like, we can't work together. I'm sorry. In fact, that's what happened with this guy that was trying to like hire me to do a gig for him. I'm like, I don't want to work with you if you want our communication to be through Instagram, because I simply cannot. Not that I reply to emails very well either. I'm really just bad at online communication, guys. I get it's too much. I'm overwhelmed. Maybe I should hire a VA. Maybe I should outsource my Instagram inbox to someone. She did ask for my Instagram handle, but I gave her a fake one that doesn't exist. That's how she would know how to contact me. Okay. Let's continue what we were doing here. So that's the mastermind. We established that it's $10,000. Let's see. Okay, she also has this, which I believe is just like a low ticket offer that teaches you how to master content creation and own the algorithm, which is funny because actually that's what we'll do. We'll go to her Instagram, because I believe her engagement is like not very good. Like if I was going to hire someone to teach me how to use Instagram for my business, this would not be the person personally that I would hire, because she doesn't really have the results to show for it. Allegedly, in my opinion. Okay. So 160-ish thousand followers, and let's see what her real views are like. 1,300, 1,400, 2,000. Like this is like what I get, and I have 6,000 followers. 4,000, 2,000. Like I think people are burnt out. Honestly, I think like I look at obviously a lot of coaching content basically every day. People are sending me profiles, or I'm scrolling and kind of perusing. And what I've come to notice is a lot of these people will have really inflated numbers of followers, but then really bad engagement. And I know people in the comments will be like, oh, well, it's because they bought a bunch of bots. I don't think in every case it necessarily is that these people have bot followers. I think it's because they grow their following in something else. So this woman, for example, grew her following through fitness coaching. And then they decide to shift into becoming this like thought leader expert, that their engagement goes right into the tubes. Like there is a woman who I follow currently who grew her account from 0 to like 80,000 followers over the course of the past year in a very specific niche. I'm not going to name it. I don't want to like throw shade at her or anything, but in a very specific subject related to a specific community of people that I happened to be a part of, that I was really interested in. I thought that her content was awesome. She shared very specific videos that you could like learn a specific craft from and duplicate it in your own life. And anyway, since she grew this following, she now wants to become like a coach on how to grow your following and how to get brand deals and da-da-da. And it's just like, I had to mute her today because I'm like, I followed you because I wanted to learn these like things from you. I'll just say it's recipes. I wanted to learn these recipes from you. And now you're not even showing the recipes anymore. You're teaching people how to become a content creator. I'm like, I didn't follow you for content creation tips. And so I was looking through, just again, out of curiosity, her engagement, and all of her recipe videos still get, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views. And then her content creation tip videos get like 2,000, 4,000 views, which like is good. But when you have 80,000 followers, it's not that great. And so it's interesting for me as like an outsider, third party perspective to be like, yeah, I'm the consumer that came here for content A, and now you're giving me content B, and I'm not interested. So I think that's what's happening here. And I think that happens with a lot of coaches because they gain their following in a specific niche. They change niches. People aren't really interested in that. Like I have lots of people that follow me from when I had a yoga business, and I don't really talk about yoga anymore. So they probably aren't interested. It's like, please just unfollow me. If you don't like my content, don't follow me. It's like the people on this YouTube channel that subscribed because they watched my video about how much money YouTube paid me, and now they don't watch any of my other content. It's like, you just unsubscribe, please. You're killing me, man. But such is the nature of the internet. 100%. It's like when an interesting vlogger gets bigger and starts it starts being about vlogging instead of the interesting things that they do, and then it gets boring. We see that a lot too with content creators who vlog their like 9-to-5 jobs, and then they become full-time influencers and they end up quitting the 9-to-5 job. And it's like, the thing that was interesting about you is that you had a 9-to-5 job and I was like following your life, but now you're just an influencer and it's not that interesting. So it's definitely like a sort of what's the word, like pipeline, I guess, that a lot of people fall into. But from the consumer of that content, it's just very interesting to be like, wah, wah, wah. Now I see why these people have bad engagement. It's because they decided to shift niches, but they didn't want to start a new Instagram account for it. And again, like I did that. So pot, meet, kettle. Okay, this was the other thing I wanted us to look at. This Millie thing. So basically, I believe it's like a GPT, or like how all these people are making like custom GPTs, AIs that you can use. I believe that that's what she's done here. So it says, you didn't come here to keep up. You came to lead, to scale, to sell with ease and be seen for your genius without burnout, without bottlenecks, and definitely without getting stuck in the weeds of content launching and overthinking your next move. That's why I built Millie, the Millionaire AI. My exact frameworks, your unique voice, ready to execute instantly. She's not a generic tool. She's your new 7-figure strategist, co-pilot, and messaging mirror. I believe someone in the live chat was asking about this earlier. Like, couldn't you just use AI to do this? Absolutely. You could create your own custom GPT, or you could literally use ChatGPT. And it could probably get you, you know, not great results, but decent enough that you don't have to buy this person's. Always on, always 10 steps ahead, and she never misses. With Millie, you can map a full launch in one sitting. Write a high converting funnel while you sip iced matcha. Sell smarter without sounding like anyone but you. Shift blocks and cement CEO decisions. You collapse time and become limitless. This is your unlock for soft CEO summer, powered by precision, not pressure. More white space, more visibility, more cash flow, more you. Word salad. What are you saying? These are words. We're saying lots of them. We're not really saying anything at all. Founding member access is officially open. Get instant access and save $777. Yes, I'm insane. No, what's insane is people are paying probably thousands of dollars for this. Like, what? Receive 2K in exclusive bonuses. This is where millionaire moves are made. Comment Millie for details. Millie has blown my mind. I expected it to be good, but damn, running my business just got 1,000 times easier. Millie responds like Marie. I have a month full of detailed content ideas. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can find what this thing is. Oh, interesting. I hear that Tony Robbins has an AI app. Very interesting. Zip says, that's the content creator version of the rapper who goes from rapping about the streets to rapping about private jets. Bingo. What about me makes you think that I want to be relatable? Oh, maybe because you built your whole brand about being relatable? Sue me for thinking that that's what I would get here. Okay, so for a limited time, become a founding member. Introducing the Millionaire AI. Meet your new competitive edge and your most profitable hire. The Millionaire AI, trademarked, is your genius marketing tool, growth strategist, putting limitless creativity, power, and potential at your fingertips. She's custom designed for the entrepreneur who's been done being the bottleneck of her income and impact. So I have seen, maybe I need to make a video about this, but I have seen so many coaches now introducing their own like custom GPT. It's like, could I create one? Does someone know? I should ask Pablo. He probably knows how I could create my own custom GPT. Not that I'm going to sell it to people, but it's like, I just want to prove it for the point of the video that like anyone could do this. It's not that hard. Let me make a note to myself. Ask Pablo. about custom GPT. Okay, let me continue. What if you never had to stare at a blank Google Doc or doom scroll for ideas again? What if your content, offers, emails, and sales strategies didn't just sound fine, but sounded like you on your best day? But is it going to sound like me if I'm buying it from you, or is it going to sound like you? Also, AI posts, at least so far, are not great, in my opinion. You can't just like take something the AI gives you and then use it. And when you do, I can tell. I was watching someone's YouTube video a week or two ago, and this is like someone who scripts their content, which is fine. I script my content too. But as they were talking, I was like, dude, AI wrote the script for you. You don't talk like this. I've watched your video for years, and I can tell that you don't talk like this. AI wrote the script for you. Busted. I didn't write that in the comments, but I thought it in my brain. Introducing the Millionaire AI, your private marketing strategist, content creator, and sales consultant all in one, built with your voice, your brilliance, and my proven frameworks to scale from 6 to 7 figures. I just want to know how much it is, because if she's giving a $700 discount, she must be charging a lot. Okay, so you can pay with Affirm, Afterpay, or Klarna. Or you can pay in full. Oh, wait. Oh, add an exclusive upgrade. A one-on-one review. Get the expert insight my private clients pay thousands for on this page only. A one-on-one content and profile strategy audit. Okay, here we go. Millionaire AI 8888. So it's almost $1,000 for this custom GPT. Crazy. Or you could just use ChatGPT for free and give it all the information about you so that it knows who you are and what your business is. Anyway, I digress. Okay, what are you guys saying in the comments? I think Tony Robbins could be replaced by AI and we wouldn't know. So true. So true. Yeah, you could probably use ChatGPT to program it to say what you would say. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I literally use ChatGPT, especially in like negotiating with clients. It knows everything. I'm like, this is how much money I charged this client. These were the deliverables. This was what the contract said. Help me figure out what to say to these people. It knows everything. I could say, hey, ChatGPT, tell me about my business, and it will tell me everything. It knows. Me and that guy, we're besties. I always say, hey, bestie, here's what I need help with today. And my bestie gets me. Always be nice to the robots. So when the robots take over, they don't kill you first. That's my advice. That is my life coaching advice for you all today. Aaron says, imagine being the client that paid thousands for something and then see it offered for 1,111. I was thinking that too. Exactly. Oh, my clients pay me thousands of dollars for this, but I'll give it to you today. Do you think your clients don't read your offers? Sorry, what? It's like all the people that do like insane discounts for Black Friday. I'm like, you realize you're just like slapping the people in the face that paid full price for this, right? Like you understand the connection there, right? It's not just me that's seeing this. Like I would be pissed off if I paid someone $5,000 for some online course and then I see it on sale for Black Friday for $99. How rude. Okay. Let's see if she's got anything else for us. Oh yeah, I wanted to go to her about page. This website is really poorly designed. There's no header, so I can't navigate back to the home page without just like clicking back. Like there's no menu at the top, which is just poor design in my opinion. Coming from a person that doesn't even have a real website. I have a landing page, but I will judge because I don't care. I used to have a website once upon a time. But I think even on my landing page, you can navigate back to the top pretty quickly. Anyway, I'm not here to defend myself. I don't care. I'm Marie, 7-figure business mentor, marketing strategist, and your new business bestie. I help online coaches and service providers make bank while making a difference. Trademarked. I've always had a marketing brain, but after getting 2 business degrees, I realized that climbing the corporate ladder and having a closet full of J. Crew wasn't my dream after all. So I went all in on building my own empire. If I recall correctly, she never had a corporate job. So how do you know that climbing the corporate ladder isn't for you if you've never climbed the corporate ladder? Asking for a friend. After cracking the code on the online coaching industry, I scaled my fitness coaching business and lifestyle brand to multiple 6 figures a year. I turned my focus to helping other women build their dream online businesses, and my clients quickly became the new generation of industry leaders, whether they were making their first sale or scaling to multiple 6 figures and beyond. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying so late. Goodbye. I'll see you next week. Next week I'll be back to my regular Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific. P.S. Okay, we're not done. If you're watching the replay and you think I just signed off randomly, I was just saying goodbye to someone in the chat. Here we go. I'm a 7-figure CEO and business mentor, helping women start and scale their dream businesses that make bank while making a difference. This is like always so interesting to me. And I mean, we talk about this in every video. The like, I'm a 7-figure CEO. I can't imagine being like, for example, Pablo and I were at a friend's birthday party on Friday where we met a lot of people that I've never met before. And, you know, typically, you know, hi, I'm so-and-so and this is what I do for work. That's just like how the conversation always goes. So someone, you know, if someone asks me, Danielle, what do you do for work? Oh, I'm a content creator. I make videos on the internet. I would never be like, oh, I'm Danielle. I make X amount of dollars. I'm a 7-figure earning content creator. I'm not a 7-figure earning content creator, but let's say I was. I'm $1 million content creator. Like, that's so cringe. No one's walking around anywhere in my real life saying, hi, I'm a $80,000 a year OPP dispatcher. Like, what? It's just so weird. Why do we always lead with that? I saw a reel on Instagram last week that was like, there's a trend that was going around, maybe it was a couple weeks ago, saying like this and blank. So it'll be like a picture or a video of someone in the like in Venice in Italy on one of those fucking boat things being like this and never having to sign into Microsoft Teams again. And so anyway, the video was this girl, you know, sitting at like a cute coffee shop drinking a coffee, and it said this and unfollowing everyone who says 6-figure business mentor in their Instagram bio. And I had a good laugh because I was like, yeah, same. Oh, my camera died. Hold on 1 second. Oof, that is like not flattering. We're back. We're back. We're back. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. So I'm like, anytime I see someone introducing themselves by how much money they make, immediate unfollow. Goodbye. William says, that pic says anything but business. So true. Sorry, I keep clicking on the Instagram tab. But wait, there's more to it. I'm a crazy horse girl, 2 golden retrievers. Why do they all introduce themselves like this? Okay, what is your background? I wanted options. I needed freedom. I desired to make my own rules. If you're new here, I'm betting you feel something similar. It is like so obvious to me. I mean, and I know this because I followed her online for so long. But the copy on this website makes it abundantly clear to me that she grew up in coaching, came up in coaching during the era of like 2018 to 2021. Because all of those people are the like word salad. I'm saying words without really saying anything. I'm trying to be cute and relatable. You know, I love horses and I have 2 dogs. Like those are all the traits of people that we would have seen who came up in that time, because we all learned how to, you know, copy paste each other's websites. Like my website probably looked like this in 2019. Trying to be, you know, cute and relatable without really saying anything. So let's see. I figured out how to merge my passions and my vision board into a profitable business. I had already been posting on Instagram and pioneering the content and influencer space. I sold my first thing on the internet at 17. So when it was time to enter the real world, I knew I had to turn my love for content creation, community building, and all things health and fitness into a coaching business unlike anything I had ever seen before. Within 5 years, I became an industry-leading wellness and confidence coach, banking $250,000 annually. But I didn't do it alone. I had invested well over $200K into learning all the things about online business between mentors, masterminds, conferences, courses, and more. So I actually do recall when she first became a business coach, she was in Jenna Kutcher's business mastermind. This would have been like back in, I think I was still at my 9-to-5 job. So it might have been like 2017, 2018. Crazy. But again, this whole about me doesn't tell me anything. Personally, and maybe that's just how my brain works because I'm very much like make things clear and concise. Why not just say, in 2016 I did this, then 2017, 2018, like give me the timeline, help me build the credibility through sharing your actual story and experience. Like that's what I prefer personally. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, for example, I updated my pin post last week where I give like my backstory in chronological order, starting in 2014. This is my story to give people context to understand who I am and how we got here. That's what I like to see. I like to know who the hell are you and why do I need to listen to what you're saying and how did you end up in this situation? Because I'm nosy as fuck and I want to know. What is that video? Great question. Your guess is as good as mine. At least she's not wearing a sparkly lace bra under a blazer. I will say that. Although it looks like she forgot her pants. So, questions. Yeah, this is like literally Jenna Kutcher's website. I don't know if it still does, but it used to look like this. So she must have just like copied a template. Oh, I spoke too soon. There she is in the lace bra. Okay, and then it just goes into work with me. So we have no context as to like who she is, what her background is, where she got here. So I don't like that personally, but that might just be my personal preference. If you have other preferences, let me know in the comments. And then it links to all of the different offers we already looked at. So that's basically it. I guess we can take a quick scroll through her recent Instagram post just so you guys can get an idea at her content genius that she's not able to outsource because it's so important that she does it herself. Just to show you what we're working with here. So on the text on screen says, when he asks why all I do is set insane goals, make money, travel the world, ride my horse, read romantasy, and teach women how to scale businesses. And then the caption says, why would I settle for less than absolutely everything that I want? Just standing on literal business over here and taking the girls with me. This and launching without a mental breakdown. Okay, this was the trend where it was like this and unfollowing every six-figure mentor on Instagram. This and an inbox full of I'm in. This and no budget at Whole Foods. This and making money for being yourself. This and becoming uncopyable. You're all copies of each other, though. You look like every other coach. I always find it so ironic when people are like, find your unique voice. And yet their entire Instagram feed and programs are just like copy paste versions of everyone else's. You're so hard on yourself. Who are you trying to impress? Her. I don't do sales calls or have any funnels. Oh, this is probably to the, Sabrina Carpenter sound. That's like, is it slow? Or is it just bleh? Or run any ads. So basically she's saying like all the things that people are saying they don't do. And like, that's why you're not successful. Because hear me out. How have we gotten to a place where the foundations of business, of marketing, of sales are now uncool? I don't know. I don't really do sales calls and I have a business that pays my bills and some. So maybe we don't need to all do our businesses the old bid school business way. Anyway, a story for another day. I'm rambling now. I mean, I've been rambling for the last 2 hours, let's be honest. How's everybody feeling? What are we doing? Bubba is KO'd, man. That is the vibe of the late night live stream. He's like, this needs to wrap up because I got Z's to catch, if you know what I'm saying. Thank you all so much for joining on the late night live stream. Enneagram is like a personality test thing, isn't it? Let me Google it before I butcher I feel like I've done it before. Yeah, Enneagram of personality. The Enneagram of personality is a pseudoscientific model of human psyche, which is principally understood and taught as typology. So it's just like any other personality test. Or like that human, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Thank you so much. Mega Farmer says, hello there. Hope you are well. Smashed you the like button. Thank you. And if you've been watching this whole time and you haven't clicked the thumbs up or the thumbs down, are you okay? Are you okay? To this, I want to know, once you hit the like button, how does it feel?
Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling grateful? Are you feeling empowered? Are you feeling relief? Are you feeling, how does that feel?
I hope it feels good. And I hope you had a good time. Zip says, the stream started at sunset for me, and now it's total darkness. It is dark outside here, too, which I think is why my face looks like kind of shadowy. The lights are all not in the right place today, but we're working with what we've got, okay? Doing our best. Or maybe we're not doing our best, and that's okay, too. Just remember.
Selma, it's your fucking fault, so why don't you go yell at yourself for taking this long?
It's your fault. If it doesn't feel good, that's your fault. So I just want you to let that sink in.
I want all of you to let that one especially deeply sink in.
Okay. I'm done. I'll stop hitting the buttons. If you haven't watched my most recent upload, you absolutely should, because I had a really hilarious time making fun of myself and then editing the video of me making fun of myself. So please spare my ego and go watch me make fun of myself for 45 minutes, okay? New video coming later this week. Also going to be a good one. I mean, I'm just such a talented, exceptional YouTube content creator that everything is just so great. I don't know why you guys are still here listening to me, to be honest. I don't even want to listen to myself. Okay, let's wrap it up. Take care. Comb your hair. I will see you in my next video. Bye!